Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. We're going to go ahead and hop right into today's webinar on Sage Intacct Easy Fixes. My name's Rosanna. I am the support manager here at ETHOSystems, and I support the Sage Intacct product. I am based in Redding, California, so super far Northern California. Please keep in mind that when you see my demo instance, it's not going to look like yours. It is a demo instance. It's multi-entity and multi-currency as well. And I literally have every module within Intacct enabled. So you're going to see things that are different from what you see. That's okay. This is just meant to be a high-level overview. We're not going to really get into the weeds of things. We're just going to keep it very high level and just take it one step at a time. All right, let's hop in. Reporting and audit. Again, I am looking at my notes on the side, so you're not actually seeing this, but reporting and audit. So here's what we're going to cover next. We're going to create default reporting periods. We're going to review using the audit trail to track changes, checking the email delivery log for delivered status. I'll explain more about that when we hop into it. And this goes along with the email delivery log, this next one. Testing whether the issue is Intacct or recipient's email filtering. We're getting into talking about issues I see about AR invoices and customers not receiving them. That's what I mean by those last two bullets. But let's go through creating default reporting periods first. So in January, the first of the year, I see lots of tickets and I'm happy to help, no problem. But this is something that I think is actually a nice little thing to know, of users reaching out saying, hey, Intacct's broken because I'm going to close out the year, the month, what have you, in the general ledger, right? I'm just going to walk you through that. We're going to close. And I don't see any 2026 reporting periods, right? You're going to see that in mine because I have mine. But let's just say for you, this is the last reporting period that you see. Help. And I'm always happy to help. But the reason you're not seeing that is because no reporting periods were created beyond this point. So what you would do to do that is you would go to your navigation bar. We would go to company. We would go to setup tab. And we'd go right here to import data. And I know that might not feel really intuitive to even check there, but this is just where it is. Here I do Control F, and I'm going to look for reporting period. Here it is. You're going to go here, and then you click Default. You read this little thing. Default reporting periods will be created. Monthly, quarterly, and yearly reporting groups will be created based on the date you have specified for beginning balances, okay? Then you would hit Create. I'm not going to do that because mine are already created. However, what I did want to show you is because this is something that you only are going to do yearly typically, it makes sense that you might forget, right? It's not something you do every day. So if you ever forget, we can always use the help and support right here. So from here, you can just go to help and support. I'm not going to do help on this page because I actually don't need help on this page. But if you were to click this, another little tip for you, if you were to click this, it would literally bring up help documentation on help literally on this page, okay? But we're going to go just here to the General Help Center because I want to show you what you can reference if you need help with this. So, whoopsie, hold on. Create. All right, so you would go here and you can either click here, this is going to have reading documentation for you, or there's a little video you can watch, which is really fun. So if you were to click here, it literally just goes over everything I said, okay? You can also learn how to manually create them, which we're not going to talk about today. So there you go. That's how you create default reporting periods. Again, we're saying company, setup. Once you get to setup, filter for reporting periods, default. Pretty easy. All right, let me reset that and let me click out of here. All righty, the next thing we want to touch on is the audit trail. So I'm going to use AP for an example. So we're going to go to AP to demo this and bills. And whoopsie, I did not want to create a bill. Okay, this is what I wanted. Bills. Let's just say you needed to dig into this AP bill. Maybe you want to see who entered it. Maybe you want to see what date they actually entered it, because as you know, the bill date doesn't necessarily mean that that's the date this was created in the system. Maybe you want to see if it was created in the system or if it came over from an integration that you have. So you would do what I did, go to AP, bills, it took you to that list view, right? I'm going to repeat the steps here. I feel like I went too fast. So here's your list view. You can click view or edit, whichever you prefer. I'm going to click view. And then you can go here to more actions, view audit trail. We can expand this window. And as you can see, this was created on the 10th by me and user interface. So that means it was manually created in the system. If this came over via an API, which is an integration, it would say API right here, and it says created. Now, oftentimes, if there was a field or something was edited on this transaction, and this is for anything, purchasing, transactions in purchasing, OE, AP, AR, there are actually very few areas within Sage Intacct that do not have the audit trail feature. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head right now, but it's true. Most do have this. And so let's just say you updated something on the bill itself, the field. So for example, let's just say, there are some things that can't be edited, obviously, but if we were in edit mode, let's see what it would let us edit. Oh, okay. Let's just say you wanted to add a reference number, and then, we hit post or what have you. I'm not going to post it. What you would expect to see is, I'm going to go back in on the audit trail is view audit trail. If I added that reference number, it would be like field reference number before blank, after. If I added 1, 2, 3, it would show 1, 2, 3. So that's kind of how to see and view the audit trail. All right. So this next one, bear with me as I go through it. Let me just reset and get to my home screen again. Put this one. Actually, I want to leave that up. Okay, so I see a lot of cases about email delivery issues. Your AP team is, or I'm sorry, your AR team is sending invoices, right? And you have some customers who have not paid their bill and you don't know why. So your AR team or your collections team, whoever, sends an email directly to your customer, and the customer gets your email and is like, hey, I never received this bill, this invoice. What are you talking about? And so you then are like, okay, let me talk to other customers and see what's going on. And you find out there's maybe a handful or more of your customers that did not receive your AR invoice. And it's understandable. You think, oh my goodness, Intacct is broken. Here's what you're going to do, okay? So we're going to start. Here's our homepage. We're going to go here. Here's what you can do, because you could still create cases, right? And we'll help you. However, here are some preliminary things you can do that might be able to get you a quicker result and at least be able to narrow down some things, right? So you go here, you'll go to company, you're going to go to the admin tab. And from here, we're going to use the new email delivery history. When you get here, it defaults to showing you things that are errored out. And yes, there are times that things error out, but it's very clear that it's errored. And at that point, you can, drill into the data, what have you. And if you don't understand what's going on, create a ticket and we'll help you. But that's not what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over an AR invoice that actually says it was delivered, but yet your customer is saying they didn't get it, so it's intact. So it defaults when you go to the email delivery log to show just all the errors. You actually have to go here to go show all emails. Now it's going to show everything, right? Here's what we're looking for. So let's just say this is the invoice that we sent, the AR team sent to our customer. As you can see here, it says delivered, okay? We can drill into it. It was processed and it was delivered. What this means, what delivered means, it doesn't mean that it was simply sent from Intacct. It means it was literally sent and received by the recipient's email. Let's use Outlook for an example, by their Outlook domain, right? Or email, whatever you call. I am not an IT person, but I think you know what I'm saying. And it says delivered. So that means it was received by the recipient's email. But maybe their IT team, pretty sure they do, has security things set in place, right? To prevent, because, people are getting scammed left and right these days. So they're protecting everyone at the company. So there's filterings and quarantine files and all these things. So that's going to be your first thing. If it says delivered, let your customer know, hey, I see an Intacct, it was delivered. Here's what that means. You can, give them high level what I just said. Can you check with your IT team and have them review? Well, ask your customer to check their own spam files and quarantine files. Everyone's is going to be a little different. And then have them reach out to their IT team about it, because it could be that maybe the Intacct, because these are coming from Intacct, right? The invoices. Maybe that email address needs to be whitelisted or on their allowed list. Or maybe it's your email address that for whatever reason, it's not on their allowed list. And even if they say, hey, but we've gotten them in the past, it doesn't matter, because sometimes, as you know, there are updates to email, like Intacct has updates, right? All the time. Well, not all the time, quarterly. The same is true for these security applications on emails, right? They have updates too. So that's where I would start, is if you see that it says delivered, I've never seen an issue. I've never seen a case, and I've been doing this for a long time, where it said delivered and it was an Intacct issue. It was always on the recipient's end, okay? So just know that, and this is how you can start your kind of troubleshooting. If they come back and they're like, nope, it's not there, it's still not there, it's Intacct. Something you can do, a quick little test you can do that we do all the time is, I'm going to go here from company. I'm going to go to AR. You can kind of do your own little test email and email the invoice to yourself. And, look for the invoice, right? We're going to print our email. I'm just going to unclick that. I'm going to click email. And then just enter in, who you want to email this to and hit OK. Now, just keep in mind that you too may not receive it because of your own company's email filtering system, right? So you're going to still want to check too in your quarantine file and all the. But even so, if it ends up in your quarantine file, even more insight for you to be like, hey, same thing happened to me. I reached out to my IT and it's your email because it shows delivered and Intacct. So those are just a couple of ways to troubleshoot these issues that often happen when your customers are not receiving the invoices that you're sending them. Okay. And then if there's still an issue after that, just reach out and we'll totally help you.